kenu nyamen ake kenu nyamen ñinum programme to mum bina la Gambian Talents TV arabo araba ka botalen nani faka jitala luluka min ko aka kenu nyamen ni ado ni ciosano le fere min ko ado ni ciosano akita ko mu yanu ka mabotale nani jamano molo mu yalon ko fan ya ado ni ciosano lam baake molo mu yalon ko fana ya ado ni ciosano lam bari man fin kankuran wala maño bito hani fa kaseboyo nte kadi ture mbina lalije ka kuwal natale mungu ka ado ni ciosano la kuwala anin Gambian Talents TV ado ni ciosano ta mabulale koteke albilan noma kona fale nyame arabo arabalo ado ni ciosano anin te ture muso fenta mabula koteke
Services, Mr. Cham and his deputy, Mr. Gao, distinguished colleagues and members of the press. Welcome to today's press briefing. And I am Aminata Sane. I am the Information Officer for the Ministry of Petroleum and Energy. Before going any further, can we have a silent prayer in our individual ways, please? Amen. May God answer our prayers. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation here at a short notice. We acknowledge your efforts and your commitment towards holding public officials into account. We also recognize your contributions towards the national development, which we are grateful, and we recognize your efforts also in promoting the works and the services that is being delivered by this ministry, and we are grateful for that. Thank you. Today's press briefing is very important for us as a ministry, and we are very honored to have all of you here. Before going any further, I would invite the minister, but before he makes his statement, I would like to just give us a brief statement about what triggered this interview. Like I said in the invitation, the interview has been triggered. The interview has been triggered by one of us, our colleagues in the media, a publisher and a reporter for Malagan News, online news, on an article that he published recently, Government Gauge, titled Government Gauge and the Mining Minerals, Where Are the $1 Million? The purpose of this briefing is to make sure that clarifications and some of the allegations that the writer put in the article are being clarified, as many of them are misleading. But before going any further, I'll not dwell into that. The minister here will give a brief statement, and then he will clarify that misleading information. Honorable Minister, you're welcome.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and I also welcome you to the Ministry of Petroleum and Energy. As he rightly said, we just want to make some clarifications, and of course, as responsible in the ministry, it's our duty to make things clear, but we do recognize the importance of the media, and this ministry definitely is not a ministry that is, of course, most of you have been invited here before on other activities. The purpose of this press briefing is to make some clarifications to the mining activities, especially the black sand, commonly called heavy mineral concentrate, HMC. The components of the HMC are ilmenite, rutile, and zircon, which are mineable, that occur in the locations of Sanyang, Batokungu, and Katong. These minerals were first mapped by Cooper, a geologist from the Gold Coast Geological Survey, now Ghana Geological Survey, in 1925. Several other studies of the deposit were undertaken under the auspices of the Geological Unit, now the Geological Department. These studies detail the chemical and mineralogical composition of the deposit, as well as the volumetric analysis. The HMC, that's a heavy mineral concentrate, deposits were subjected to brief mining between 1956 and 1959 by Gambia Minerals Limited, a subsidiary of the British Petroleum. There's some history to that, which I could give you. And other mining activities followed by Kennedy Minerals of Australia, 2005 to 2008, and they mined about 43,415 metric tons. Gamico, 2008-2015, they mined about 189,982 metric tons. APAM, 2015 to 2016, 5,649 metric tons. The estimated mining currently, GACH is the mining company and has been so far exported 15,386 metric tons from October 2017 to June 2020 as the license period. It's important to set the record straight that GACH Mining, as the holder of the current mining license for the purpose of mining HMC along the coastal areas of the Gambia, acquired license through a competitive process with Golden Earth Company, Gambia Limited. The GACH license was processed in accordance with the provisions of the Mines and Quarries Act 2005. Among the list of applicants, GACH company had a better offer of 60% of royalty payment to the government in comparison to a Golden Earth company that offered 50% of royalty from the net profit. Comparatively, the royalty payment by GACH is also better than that of APAM and Gamico that previously mined the HMC in the previous regime. It's also worth mentioning that a very comprehensive EIA was carried out in the same area that Kennedy Minerals mine, which the ministry find it befitting for all mining activities in the same area. That was done by Kennedy before the Kennedy license was issued. However, the National Environment Agency has legal mandate at any time to visit a licensed area and engage the licensee on any environmental issue. It's also worthy to mention that accurate information on the amount of royalty paid by GACH to the government has always been given by the minister to the National Assembly at the time of questioning by the deputies. Since the issuance of the license, GACH company has paid the amount of $649,001.04 US dollars as royalty to the state for the shipment of 15,386.45 metric tons of HMC. The amount paid to government represents 60% of the net profit after reduction of operational costs. This includes mineral extraction, transportation, freight, ports handling, charges, and labor. These are basically the operational cost, but also there is also capital cost, capex, also at the same and the operational cost also, opex. It is important to note that the HMC is always in a concentrated form, and it is not processed in the Gambia, but in China. Hence, the processed price is always higher than the HMC price that's been exported from here. The payment of royalty for HMC is affected by the company upon receipt and processing of cargo, with the average shipping times from day to loading varying between 2 to 3 months. The tax payment being the responsibility of the licensee has been a requirement in the terms and conditions of the license. However, it is imperative to clarify that tax is only liable on the 40% shares of the GACH and not the total sales revenue. There has never been a ban on HMC mining in the Gambia. The stumbling block that prevented international mining companies from venturing into mining here basically is the quantity, the small size of the deposit compared to other parts of the country. And right now, as I'm speaking to you, there's a big deposit mining operation, the same minerals, going on in Senegal. If you Google Grand Cote operations by TIR company, the mining right now the same mineral in the that's a bigger facility, more than 20 million tons, and it's also a 25-year license life. The Minister of Petroleum and Energy would like to inform this meeting that the Geological Department is undergoing reforms. As a start, a special committee, which comprises the key stakeholders, has been established at the Ministry as an oversight body on the issuing of mining and quarrying licenses. It also assists on the inspection and monitoring of the mining operations. And that I have my advisor here, Murusar, who was the Executive Director of the National Environment Agency for 10 years, and so in the World Bank. He's currently with me, looking at all environmental issues that we do, not only for mining and quarrying, but also other activities in the energy sector too. Accordingly, we want to assure you that the Ministry is monitoring the mining operations conducted at the same time being mindful of protecting people's livelihood. There is a provision in the mining law for compensation to affected owner or lawful occupier of the land where mining is taking place. I have been reliably informed that the licensee has been engaging the affected occupier for compensation. The licensee, that's GACH, was required to provide a bond of $30,000 as guarantee for the rehabilitation of the affected area after mining. Rehabilitation will help provide more space for farming activities, which will benefit the communities. And before I conclude, let me make emphasis that the 30,000 is a minimum, it's a deposit, but we have a right to review that at any time. And it is just a bond. In case the company failed to rehabilitate, we can put that bond. But definitely, there is it's on the company to rehabilitate. We only ask for the bond if the company fails to. But if you rehabilitate, then the government have to pay back that bond to the company. So with this short briefing, I want to thank you very much. And of course, you have this to be interactive, we have answer questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. We will now welcome questions and answers. As we don't have much time, we will take a few, at least a question from each one of us, and then we will get the questions like 3 in a group and then answer, because we don't have much time also.
Well, since I am the one on trial,
No, we are doing
Yeah, so you have to ask. If you want to ask, you can just raise your hand, and then I'll just give you the floor so you can speak.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that some of the issues raised in my story were not addressed, like the environmental impact assessment. Even GACH did inform, you must have been aware that GACH did a reaction to my story. And he admitted that he did not do an EIA, that he adapted one, and there is no such thing in the law. There is no such thing as adopting an EIA. And so you said your minister had served on the NEA, your advisor had served on the NEA. So my question is, if in fact it is true that he has not done an environmental impact assessment, which is a requirement in the law, aren't you complicit in the fact that he is doing an illegal mining operations? That's the first question. And if I can be allowed to ask a second one.
Okay, I was going to.
You're only allowed to ask.
I was going to ask.
Thank you.
Well, I am the one on trial. You're talking about my story.
So we know that, but the purpose of this is not your story actually. We would have reacted to your story a long time ago.
Okay,
but it was because the other media also.
Okay, all right.
Because the other.
It's okay. It's okay.
The other media. Sorry.
Surrender her question.
Okay, just hold on. I'm the chair here moderating. Thank you very much for surrendering your question.
So we address it one at a time.
Yeah, exactly. So
the environmental
Okay,
impact-
can I answer the question?
Yes.
Very good. It is not the company that asked for EIA. It's a requirement by us for EIA. And we had a very comprehensive environmental impact assessment in the area, which is site specific. One, the area that we are mining is exactly the same place, the mining method is exactly the same. Okay? Now, we agreed that we continue mining. Prior to abandonment, we will do an assessment of the area and come with a better management plan. So the whole essence of EIA is to give a description of the area prior to mining, and then after mining, you put a plan for rehabilitation. That's the essence of environment. So if you, that's the opinion. Very good. I'm very well aware of Environment Act. Let me tell you one thing. This Environment Act, I'm not going to into the law, but definitely, environment has all the right at any time to engage us on and they have right to stop any activity if it is floating there.
Thank you very much.
It's not
Thank you
illegal.
very much, Honorable Minister.
It's not illegal. So I'm telling you, it's not illegal.
I'm trying to make minister is
Yeah,
I'm aware.
access every
Thank you.
mining operation.
No, not necessarily.
Thank
But
you,
that's what the
Honorable.
law says.
No, not
Thank you,
necessarily. I don't
Honorable.
agree with that.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
No.
The licensing committee,
don't
I'd just
agree
like
with
to add, the licensing committee includes the Ministry of Environment itself and other stakeholders. So before a license was granted to GAJ, consultations were made with all committee members, and which NEA is a part of.
That is
Thank you.
incorrect because
So-
National Environment Agency said they are not aware of that mining operation, and that's in my story, and you read it. So it's not accurate to say they were involved.
Well, I'm surprised that I don't know who said that because not the head of the NEA.
No, but the head of
well,
any
We are
No,
not
no, no,
speaking for NEA, we are speaking for ourselves.
No.
So that is up to
It's
you to
very
take it with
appropriate.
NEA. Thank you very
And,
much. Yeah, your hand was up.
Yes. Yes,
Sorry,
so-
his hand was up before you.
Yeah,
Let's take
so before I start with my question, I
Thank
want
you.
to implore on you to actually give us a space.
Yeah.
Because we are here for, to get clarification on issues.
Sure, yeah.
If he feels that, his questions are not tolerably answered,
Yeah.
I think, you should give a chance to minister and then let him just have that encounter so
Yeah,
that things will be
so
clear.
the rules are set. We said we're taking
So-
three questions,
Yes, so-
and then we will answer. That's
Yeah.
what we said.
So my question is
You know.
actually that you did say that the bidding competition was actually competitive and it was done. This must have been done in the newspapers.
Let me clarify that. It was not a bidding competition.
Okay.
It was an application. According to law, the two companies applied.
Was it announced?
No, you don't have to announce it. Apply for a license. That's not for provision. You don't apply. You can apply for the license to the director. And the application is processed. What I'm saying is that during that time, two companies applied for the same place at the same time. But even one company could have applied separately. When Kanaji license was issued, it was not many companies applied. It's only Kanaji. So what we do, look, what we do in this, when we map the area, identify the mines, we promote it, the mineral reserve, to international companies. And it's companies that will come who want to invest in the area, they come and apply. And that application goes through a process. They apply to director, and the director process the license before it comes to the minister for signing. So it wasn't necessarily that it was a bidding process. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, so but my issue is I did a pre-finding, pre-research on this issue.
Okay.
And then what I came to realize is, in fact, this thing was not even awarded to GAJ in the first place. It was awarded to GAJ, but then at the very beginning, GAJ was not the primary implementer of this because they were not having required machine to do this operation. And then GAJ had, what GAJ did was to subcontract.
No. I think you get something wrong here. Company apply for a license. You get your license. Okay? You can get a partner, or you can go and get your equipment and come on. That's why you have a period of mobilization. You get your equipment and come and establish in the area. Not necessarily you'll have the equipment himself directly, but you have partners who have equipment. That's why the equipment is there, they're mining.
He subcontracted a Gambian who has a partner.
Very,
Himself.
yeah, but then that's a licensee.
Thank you very much. So-
No. You see, the license operation.
Please.
No, it's wrong. I think you have a wrong concept about the whole thing.
Sorry.
No,
Let's
you have a wrong
have
concept.
order and decorum,
Houses,
okay?
yeah.
You may have your information, you may think it's right, because
No, but-
the article we're talking about, there are many misleading information there. But we are not here to attack him, to say these are me. We just want to lay the facts. You may also have information which you think is right, it's not right. I think the minister has laid the record straight that a license doesn't go through a bid. You go to we have the Mines Inquiry of 2005, it's there. If you are interested, even today you are interested to mine, sign over that, you can just walk into the director's office and show interest, and they'll ask you, you do your application. Once you have your company, the requirements are there.
And if you look at the law also, the law says you can give license to a person. That person is defined as can be a company or an individual. Look at the law properly.
Thank you.
No, not about hearsay. Go follow the.
We'll now take. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
appealing to all of us not to be too defensive. And Mustafa, this is not like a personal attack to you.
No,
Like I said
definitely,
in the beginning.
definitely.
We're just here to. We're,
Who?
I mean, I'm not being defensive. I think you should.
No, the issue is that we have a lot of
Take
questions,
another.
so
Yeah.
we have to give each other the chance to speak. And when you ask a question, it's good for you to hold and so that is answered. But you cannot give Thank you. Keva Ansu, go ahead.
Thank you very much. I'm Keva Ansumani. I want to know because the fact that Kite Mining Company was given Lansing at the center of the Jane Commission's investigation.
Okay.
Why this preference was given to Kite, or why the Lansing was given to Kite during this period, and also why God is giving Lansing's to mine all over the country, because and then still now the ministry, the geology department is not seeing what they are doing. Because if you go to Kitty, there is another mining that is going on there. We would like the Honorable Minister to explain to us how Gach was able to get that Lansing for the mining at Kitty, and then why actions have not been taken to address the plight of the rural women who are into gardening, and then this mining is destroying their gardens.
Okay, let me make some. I'm here to make clarifications. Okay, not actually personalizing or any attack. First, you are talking about the Jane Commission and the mining and the market distribution. The two applications came at the same time, not necessarily one after the other or one after the Jane Commission. The license issued went through the Jane Commission, cleared before any mining act is submitted. That's clear. Jane Commission cleared it through the Justice Ministry. So everything that we've done went through the legal process and through our legal department. So definitely, it was not the Jane Commission banned it and we went onto licensing. Impossible. No, that's not correct.
What I wanted to know was that a fair deal, the mere fact that the commission is doing their investigation?
Yeah, but you see, look, that's why the commission was consulted and declared it. I hope you understand this. It's the commission that cleared it. You know? So it's not like the commission was against it and we went ahead, okay?
Thank you. Usman,
No,
can we
my
hear from
second
you?
part.
Okay, you will come back.
And second, you're talking about second, the kitty also. You see, let me tell you, there are two things there. You have mining and quarrying.
I mean, sorry, Honorable Minister, I'm very sorry. I think my sister, you have to give us chance.
Okay.
There is no beef there.
Okay.
So it is for the
Let him answer that.
I know.
Yeah.
The issue
Yes,
is that also,
yes.
We would like everything because you want the public to get the facts.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then to put aside the rumors and everything. And this is the only opportunity that the officials here can respond to our question. I would kindly ask you to allow us to raise our point so that the Gambian people out there, it's not about us.
Yeah.
It's about the entire 2 million Gambian people out there. So, Honorable Minister,
Yes.
the Commission has ordered for the suspension of all mining in the country. We are aware. Are you aware of that before you issue the license?
Suspending all mining. Why would they clear this particular one? Why would even through the commission? No, it's not correct.
I think
It's a wrong information.
I think Ansumana, I think you made a very good impression here now. But
Yes.
now you also have to pressure. We are responsible officers.
Yeah.
We won't sit here and give false information. So if the Honorable Minister said to you that we've cleared through the commission, through the Attorney General's office, I think that's what we should do as ministry officials. That's it.
Yeah.
If they give the waiver or what, you should question them that. But we've clarified the process we went through
Yes, you know.
to get the license. So I think that's what you should appreciate. But we are not the ones, who would say what the commission should decide, whether they should waive it or they should not. That's not our.
Yeah, I think they did the right thing.
And I think they did
Definitely
the
the right thing, of
So
course.
we're just here
And
to put the facts out and to say that this is how, despite what is happening. And I think the other question he asked is about Kitty.
Let me tell you one thing. There are two things here. You have mining and quarrying. If you go to the law, quarry materials, that is material for construction. The license is a quarry permit or quarry license that's given by the director. Mining operations, mining is given by the minister. So you can have a mining license to mine gold or diamond, but you can still have a quarry license to quarry materials. They are not linked. So the issue of affecting people's livelihood, unfortunately, mining activities are destructive. Wherever you go to the mining site, that's why we have provision for rehabilitation and compensation. But a mineral, human activities can be within a mineral zone, a mineable mineral deposit. That's obvious. Okay? That's why we have a provision in the law for rehabilitation and compensation for people affected. Okay? What or else, I don't think there's anywhere there is mining that doesn't affect human life somewhere. And I think in my statement also, let me say, in my statement I used my mic.
Keba answer, I think I have to let my share now.
Yeah. And on the.
Your hand is up, and then we'll take part of what
Are you okay?
I was just trying to know whether
Usman, you can go ahead. You have the floor now.
The women's there whose garden has been affected, whether they will be compensated.
Oh, it is a right. It is a right. You know, it is not like whether they will compensate. It's a right for them to be compensated, and people have been compensated.
This is not confrontation.
You know, so it's not confrontation. I just want to make clear, definitely. So compensation is a provision of the law. It is not like, you know, the company will request it. No, it's a matter of the law. And also, if there is a dispute between the company and the affected person, the matter is referred to the chief judge, director. But it's a matter of law. They have to compensate it. No, it's okay.
It's okay. Yes, please, Usman.
Good afternoon to you all. I am Usman Imam, blogger and then correspondent to Maunus TV. The investigation in the story revealed that gate mining has been operating without environmental clearance and has been owing more than $2 million.
Okay.
Now, if I may ask, is gate owing the government of the Gambia any money? And if the answer is no, where are the evidence? I want you to show me the evidence that gate is not owing the government of the Gambia any money. And the headline also reads, where are the $1 million? Are there any $1 million?
In the first place, I think I have given you the figure here. I've given you all that was paid here in my statement. So the $1 million, the dollars or whatever, because I haven't seen some $1 million. You know, I think the misunderstanding here is that the author is doing calculation on gross revenue. That's why I'm making some clarification here. It is percentage on net profit. If you pick 60% of the gross, then you are making a wrong calculation. And then that's why you have to get the gross. We already have the agreement, the payment, how much he earned, and what are the expenses.
Can you put your that on silent, please?
You know, the expenses minus the expenditure, the cost of the total revenue minus the expenses. That's called resource expenses. Will give you the net profit, and out of that will be shared. But also, the company also will be taxed on the 40% profit. So the millions of dollars he's talking about, I don't know where he got that. We got that information from the geological department, and these are coming from the project. And we have authentic information on the shipping, the bill of lading. Okay, we also have the weight and everything, and even the returns of the purchase from the other end there. But that's normal. Okay, and this is very important to note this. All these things will be audited, and also by an audit, and also the tax department also engaged for tax. So whatever $1 million it is, if you think that they are keeping any money out of government, that will come out. But we don't think that's happening, because I have no such evidence of keeping money. Normally, what happens in mining? You mine, at the University of Life, for every year, you get your returns, and you pay fees or royalties or whatever you need to pay to government. It's paid. It's the same thing in the oil industry. We are not new in this. We have also administered the oil industry. It's the same thing. Okay? But here now, what we are doing with GAC is you ship, you pay, we give certain time period, you pay the government. That's why money is coming in this manner. Or else we have to wait until at the end of the year, then we got the result, and they pay money to government. You see? So it is not actually the millions that the author was talking about, because I saw his calculations. I think he's calculating out of the gross the gross revenue, not taking out the expenses.
So again, you call the story misleading, and again you said you are not aware to, get all the government any money. How so?
No, wait. At any time, any moment in time, okay, the moment there is shipment, before they will give up money, got your own government money. What I'm saying is that we are giving money and we are giving records as exactly what is paid to government. If you ship now, today, okay, you ship to China, they do also their own processing there. They agree and it's paid. It can take 2 months of shipping time. Then it will come and GAC will get returns and pay to government. So as long as licensing is going on, payment is going on, there will be areas here and there. But the most important thing is that, okay, and which is I already challenged the author. The impression it is giving is that, I don't want to go into that kind of thing, but the impression it is giving is that GAC is getting a lot of revenue and government is getting, something small, just because, and his calculations, the figures he's giving in his calculations, as I said, are actually coming from the gross, but that's not the case. It's more complicated than that. So I want that to be appreciated. I don't want to, definitely, I have a lot of respect for the author, but I see some misunderstanding, the way things in this sector. I see.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. We'll have Omar.
Thank you very much. I am Manda, of course, reporter with the Standard newspaper. Honorable Minister, when you appeared before lawmakers last week, you did inform them that GAJ, of course, has paid the Gambia government a sum of $600,000. The last update, of course, from there, we made some findings from the central bank, and we realized that the amount in that account as we speak is $293,000. Do you have any proof of your claim at the parliament and here, of course?
Okay, very good. We have proof of our claims. Money is paid not to us, it's to the central bank. It's like any revenue. When monies go to the account of the central bank, we don't have any access to that one or authority. But usually when the Prime Minister, as the members call a question, we go to our records and tell them this is the amount of money that the company paid to the government. But how much is there in the account at the moment when you went there, unless we also go there to find out. But we will not know. If it is, because as a government, we don't have an own account. We don't have own account. So possibly the custodians of that account will be able to tell you where and how the money was spent. But that's why when the National Assembly Deputy asked me the question, I said, we pay to the account, we pay to government. It's paid to government. But I cannot answer the question how the money is spent. But of course, it's a revenue for government. And we are not custodians of that revenue. There's a Ministry of Finance. We create the wealth and get the wealth to the government.
But maybe a follow-up. Don't you think it would have been responsible enough for the ministry to have evidence of this, because this is connected to your ministry?
No. I mean, I don't go into that extent. Okay, my responsibility is getting the revenue, pay to government, and I don't even know whether your story is true or not. So it's not me to I don't want to go into that. Like you are telling me that these are the central bank, whatever. Okay, but whether it's true or not, I don't know. But what I'm telling you, this is the figure we get from the payments we received, and it was paid to treasury. The figures. No, I mean every payment we go through the Orange department. Yeah, we have all the reports. How much is paid?
Payment advisors are sent to the department.
Yeah, we have our own records. So what happened on the end, definitely it will be unfair for me to tell you, and I may even not tell you the right thing.
I think what Honorable Minister is saying that we pay loads of revenues to the government, but that's under the Ministry of Finance and how it goes to the Consolidated Revenue Fund and is used for all ministries, not specifically for us. So the paying doesn't mean the money will be lying in an account. You go there and find 640. The government keeps running, and their funds are needed to make the government running. So we are not in custody of the money. All we monitor is make sure what he owes us is paid and is transferred, and we get the advice that this money is transferred. How the money is used there, that's not how, because it goes into a kitty. Every ministry that generates revenue goes into those kitties. So it's not our responsibility, it's not under us. But we make sure that the revenue owed to us according to the license and what is mine is paid, and the advices we have that yes, this money is out. So all the figure given to you is there. We have an advice for all that this is the amount that is paid to the account, and the advice was to substantiate that. And I think in the statement of the Honorable Minister, he mentioned, I don't expect, but I will be contempt in us and to go and face deputies, which are more important than anybody because they represent the masses, all of us, to not to give them accurate information. So we give them the information we have, or information that is out of our remit. We don't take responsibility to substantiate or unsubstantiate. So I think the best question would be to go and ask those responsible that this is what is paid, but it's not this ministry that would answer that question.
And secondly, there are so many other revenue generating areas too, not only mining. And when the revenue generated, it paid to government. So it's the same thing. It's a revenue coming from an activity which we are responsible for, but the moment it goes out, it goes to the national coffers. So whatever happens is a different story.
Okay, thank you. So we'll take the next question from him, and then we have Mustafa, and he will be the last one.
Well, I would prefer to ask you in the local language.
Hey, okay, which one?
Which local language then?
In Mandinka.
Let me know before then.
I hope I can see
I don't think he can speak.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Sanya, Honorable Minister, Baraka Bate, after Kenyan Kamen, I will indicate Aleni Kumul Bay for the Mialonko, Preciso Nikaranyami, and in Kolo Nekadu, Ganda. But African Union Kamen for the first question, will indicate as a country, from Cholo Banco, Gambia, from the profitless sort of Kanjabon, while for Mantara Fence sort of Kanjabon, because Nita, before the Gambia Kulma Jamala Kumbo can cafe, Ninkeno made a Cambodian Akata, but Kenyoka can make it Malon, men sort of Mukaka. The Cafaya and Ninka from our blood, Napoli, Kajaman Fisaka, from the Carabanda. So, what is on before as a country, the benefits sort of can deal me along, but reflect on Gamino life to New Bangkok and our form Mantragas already. The second one, Wallen Nitico, Musolmeni Alonco, Akap Kenyoka be done in most areas, Walla Napoli Beji. Especially Sanyam from Musodul Beji already started a kumbo, Ko Imam Marco Rosso follow. Signing Ayata Kenyo Bitaka, Honey William Marco Rosso. Is that fair to our local mothers, many along for whatever we like?
Okay, coming up on Yamming, you could follow coming from Nafaka Sotaji. Nafa Menka Soto, what Kolominka Sotaji, and Kodin Katama Secondary case. Come in Nimo Yamutoke, in a mojo. Moving an Amoja, Mascola case. So now Faka Munafa Monafa. Bon, you know, from Bambuka and Amorjo. Baman Secundaka slow do. It was all low, like a borrow some. So the flow make us through. I can do a little. Not necessarily a forward demento. Ika Naflum Bobrajasim would a big town lalto. Honey? Ning Elamu ha, Willem Kabika like a fence or a yellow for Yamming. Malakan Yosabola, Mibena.
you are still because impact ni ka den on the life of those people.
Okay. Many follow abi nunje yalo ko tamita. Okay? Barin memen to bulu woni ko dawo da bita hani nun to mi kan tula watoti mbakar lan ka kaje bi rehabilitate ya kan tan yo bari ka mem fote mun na faale mun na fa ka bo mun na fa men to banko kan o ko man ko na aran keso ko ngaje ko hana man ke nyode na ba bunda jamal keso mi ngam ko men do ko karan keso ko yo ni na pour mol men ni beje pour la hako nin ay do ko ay batandile wala nka fo ko loi sur le pour que kan nganya compenser abe ko ni be hani ana man ke mayni te bang do ko ni bala fo dulatinya fo mo dulatinya be ke jole ke compenser le so ni mol be nyamne ko mboka ko ila dulalu matale andu e man mako rosol wo mun to fana responsibility ka jiko woli fana nyana mako rosol nyami wala loi da wol nyama okay bar men tambita nu ntol mang wato minti nyin ko amantan tolo koto nte koto anyway wato di joli mantara on mi ala minsi fa may ba amantan joli mantan tolo koto par min kum mayata woli minti ko min bi laral wato wal kum mayata min bi laral wato ko ni do ko ke kan ay min ma inyane kan wanyale wala wato andi wonyana kelale malo fo ngele yela ko motala ba.
Just to further add on that, coming honorable Yafonyame, you make the only mining area and don't mine and compensation of the kele. So it's a more compensated, more be satisfied all. But the idea while I'm coming come moju so nyako. Ko tonyale ni watin kon anu compensation of Kenyame fam. Coming melka nako boje. Ika jibe le soto coming so ko ne kamune soto. Ya ni o jibe ko keno nyi bikata. Keno nyo betarle o kele tayalta ni aji be kamen soro saw ke ju sonya bol kon nimbe sini la saw la bawo e ka wuli for example e ka wuli tan soro je be wuli tan dile ka je ko amunta ko edo ko kele la ko do soro yaaji nimbo to woto na nin keno nyin tinyata wala na rehabilitation o kake ba ni rehabilitation o keta ya an rehabilitation o keta isa muruna nole yela continuer la gardening la so wuce ko non be bonde la je men na pri kana gardening ke wala nanga kodo dila pour wuce kono kari te la do ko kino yela soto kodo dila eta si yela hajol tamandi wala nin o banta sina rehabilitation ke yomuru an nga rehabilitation fo ke mus nin ka fendol ad jele da soto eras me rehabilitation sanya na ordando bo holol sinte jele yela kenol gana kafutale ya gadino gana kafutale because kenyo kono eta fem fino la kenyo kono for example man nga kenyo nyimbondi je ya rehabilitate you get more farm space. So it's a give and take. Maybe after at the instance now, they'll get affected, but in the future they get better. So when you go to California, Ninkoro be la Cairo in la Cairo tema, I go click. So say any mining after to look na ganana fa so to because we can only mobile.
But Marco be kala wa because you know na cabinet cell wala fossil number ye no go da na hani bi dolbe ye wala man fenso so wali wato be base ye wala de ngadi.
Okay, mboko wo jibel wa dola mel lonje ko
mboko jibel e katu yalo ngabi nyame mfana tonya ma la fini pour kanyo saban samala bare putum ko meme mem foler ronko momo ni ele hakole beje ngena men soto lan to bakat la yo so ya soto on do wato fana adiamo ko sia aka kolea kadum blata dia jamal kono mem manke nyindi fam memang kay may din font kany bi da ka tele jele ka bi lolu fo nte fontar fo jelto pour ka kaciake pour ka ji ka jiko e compensation ok andung buka bula wala fana beno nya bi ko ni ngon di ko loful ona loful okopaya yo tumodo be labe je dole tam be ka gadno ke je ni yo compensate dole funde gon dole kam dole tam kenoti wali ya ko akol ko le bar malef ka taw kono dajel bari men ko mata don mol men hakobe je wol nyane hako sot la jel wol ko kun kacale ko mol da malte me kacak ha yalla wala amanta safadi wat la ko men yenna jolo ni wat karle bari membe kerin don fo nga assessment oke nge jo mbere ko jamala ko no You man the first time. Ya kalamte. Yo woto mi wala fole mba kala nyamale. Andi di ku kilim fa imaji bimbe sirin jang. Television do mbeba fora nyoka. E be nyin kala mbe jabila. Mol nya ba jale fana. Forward. Yo so ba yele ko sai. O mol men fana fon be affect le fon nya ba jale le. Si fana fon sai fon ye la nyonto londe. Andi sa no manu le fana forward. Yeah.
I was going to ask one more thing.
Okay.
With regards to the FIGO you presented before the National Assembly, it was that 15,386 metric tons were exported within this period. And if you have looked at the data at the ports, which Janet Commission itself relied on at some point, because even Jambi, when they were exporting at the ports landing, they record every heavy mineral sand you export. And if you look at that data as of February, it's more than the amount of FIGO you said had been exported before lawmakers a week ago. And I don't know if you could explain that discrepancy. And two, when you appeared also before the lawmakers last year in March, you told them that there are about 4,376 metric tons were exported. And that you, this got Gambia about $205,000, 672. And that's for the sale per metric ton at 150. And this leaves a little bit of $188,000, some $100. Is it your position that this is the overhead cost of catch?
Okay, let me tell you about it.
Now the question on that.
In the first place, when you say the commission gave a figure different from our figure, I don't know what we mean by that.
I didn't say the commission gave you. I'm saying
The commission make
that the number of containers and heavy mineral sand quantity recorded at ports, Gambia Port Authority, is different from your tons at the National Assembly. The tons at the ports, as of February, is 181 containers. Your gentleman at geology told Janet Commission that a container takes an average of 27 tons. Now, by having a number of containers, you can reasonably calculate the number of tons.
Okay, let me ask you this question.
Okay,
wait. Okay, I understand.
That calculation, the number of, as of February, the tons that exported through ports is 15,444.
Okay, are you talking about the containers from Apam?
No, I am talking about the containers
but don't Gach.
exported by Gach. In 2018, Gach was the only one who exported.
The commission asked the figures?
No, I am saying the port's FIGO, 2018 container of heavy mineral sand is one.
Yeah, I think you're confusing yourself. I'll get figures from my department, and they also get it from the same shipping information. And if you say
this is a shipping information device.
No. This is what I'm telling you. And no, you're wrong. Because and secondly, he's saying that 20 tons, metric tons, average of. We are using average. What we are using now? What we are using the exact tons.
That comes from the geology department.
That was a question of how much will this weigh? That's an estimation. What we are giving is the actual figures, as per the bill of lading.
But when you said average, you know that English language.
And secondly, no, not minimum. Average is minimum. No. Average is minimum. It's not minimum.
It can go beyond that, but it doesn't go
It's not minimum. It's not minimum. Average can go below. Oh yes, it's a combination of figures. 10, 20, 30. You average them. It can be below them. That's simple mathematics, arithmetic. And secondly, you are talking about 150. Let me answer your question.
Let him answer first.
You are talking about. I told deputies the 150. I think what you missed was the question. We answer question as they are asked. The assembly asked me the market price for this. That's why we say 150 for eliminate, because we form 70%. Look at my answer. But Gach is not selling at 150, it's 200. But the question was asking the market price, not how much Gach is selling. So I hope you understand the question. Al-Basal asked the question. But he asked me the average market price.
Because I read this for months, so I understand.
I still have it. I have a question here. You don't.
We made it clear.
No, you don't.
We made it clear when we go to
It's
National
here.
Assembly, we are not going there to lie to them. What they ask, we give.
So
them.
your information is wrong.
Yeah.
That one is wrong, definitely. You know.
Thank you. So we will take Keba and then
But the second one I asked was not answered.
Which one is that?
Which one was that?
The one I said about the National Assembly, your assumption is that the overhead cost as of at that time was $188, is it?
Overhead cost.
You know, when you went to National Assembly, you told them that Dutch has so far exported 4,376 tons, right? Now, if you sell this at an average of 150, it would be something like $656,000 and 400, right? Now, if, for example, Gambia government gets 200 or 5 out of that, and Dutch get 300, far less than that, you will have an average of 100. You will have the amount left would be $188,000.
I think you are giving a very rough calculation of these things. It goes beyond that. Definitely. Maybe you sit with me, we'll go through the real.
Those are supposed to make sense.
No, of course, I don't know what we are talking about. It makes sense.
Mustafa.
What it costs.
Mustafa, I think most of that you are extenuating.
No, I think it's
You
already
see,
that. You are not.
these things you get the facts. For example, when we say operational expenses, today it could be 50 quarter. Tomorrow something can happen that would even trigger an increase or decrease in the operational expenses. So until you get those facts, you won't be able to just assume that this is the rough calculation of this thing. Just as the calculation of the tax liability, which we know is only on the actual income that goes to guide. That's the 40%. Yeah. But we talk about the whole total sales revenue, which gave a misleading figures like we are just sitting here and letting someone go with millions of government state monies. So these are really serious, allegations. But we are here just to straighten things so that we understand. We are not blaming you for anything or want to go against you or anything. We just want to clarify that yes, you may get the information, but I mean, some of the inference you are doing with the information, may be misleading. So we want to clarify that, and we are all on the same page. So that next time, when you write, you're able to, know so exactly some of the areas you would delve on. So it's just some clarification we are doing here.
Just hold on.
No.
Mustafa.
He has nothing scientific.
Geology.
Chance, please.
He wants geology.
So you're no longer asking your question. So the issue is that also we are running out.
The issue of geology.
Yes,
Okay.
because this
So,
is
Mr.
a
Fagova.
department that's being indicted by 2 state investigations.
Indicted.
Yeah, you could say found to have committed wrongs.
The geology department.
Yes, by Jale Commission said
Okay.
geology and the National Environment Agency were implicit in allowing mining discriminately destroying environment. Jale Commission said.
Okay.
Faraba Commission, and I can read out to you if I read.
I know the Farmer Commission.
Said the same thing. These are state inquiries, and in fact, it quoted as saying that geology department, with regards to Gamico, this is for Jale Commission, the volume 4.
Okay.
It was its managing director, Mr. Ablaja,
Okay.
for mining operations of Gamico to move on. And they were part of the mining operations that, as a regulator, you talked about reforming geology, but it's the same geology that under President Ali Mubarak also is found to have wronged in events leading up to the Faraba incident. You must have read the Faraba Commission. It's 3 years.
Honorable, we have a follow-up question which is similar to his. So we'll take both and then we answer before we disperse.
No. In fact, he's asking questions about the events in the past for Abanda and what other things. Definitely, that's not the purpose of me being here. I've been through a commission, and the commission has given their verdict, and the white paper was given, and actions were taken by government. So definitely, I cannot go to that.
No, but you talked about reforming geology. It's not
The reform is our process.
mining.
No, the reform.
They don't share. When you had the contract with
The reform is our process.
oil company, it was published. Why was it published?
Very good.
Because of transparency.
Very good.
Mining licenses
This is
are
our this is our process. What I'm telling you is a new environment, completely different environment. Okay, and we are going on progressively. We are working. That's why I never had an advisor.
But geology is immune to that.
Excuse me. We are reforming.
Allow him to answer.
Please don't personal attack. Don't personally attack. You know, this is not my purpose here. You know, and I don't hold brief for anybody. That's why I have an advisor. I also have a communication officer. Okay, it's all for transparency. We agreed with our partner to publish certain things, and we are working on website. And if that we do, eventually, because there is, of course, you have to agree with a partner. That's a compulsory clause. So we're going to go against the law and to publish whatever we are doing. When Assembly asked for the license, we gave the license. And when we are going to publish everything in our website, that's why we have a communication officer to help us our communication system. So please don't do personal attack on a person. We are reforming, and we are bound to reform, because not even only the Gambia, we are part of the ECOWAS system, and the ECOWAS mineral development policy asks for reform, and we have to reform. So it's part of our program to reform. So whether whoever is there, like it or not, whether he does good or bad, this ministry is going to reform, and geology is going to be reformed. You see? So please, I want you to understand that. Okay, so whatever happened in the past, very good, it happened. But definitely, we are working to reform ourselves.
Yeah, so I want to take you back to the EIA process. You said it was very clear well before. And then the follow-up question was asked. She said she referred us to the environment against something like that. Yeah, but then looking at the destruction caused by mining is quite evident. It's very explicit. You go to Sanya, you go to a lot of places in the country. Even though whereas the ministry is not the party issuing that environment clearance, but would you take this as a collective failure on the part of the government as a whole, but being part of environmental destruction of this country?
Well, mining is an activity that definitely affects the environment. That's obvious. But there are laws governing it. It's not banned. It's an activity, and it's a regenerative activity too. So definitely, that's why I mentioned this to you, that there are laws for rehabilitation. Certain things may happen in the past, which they are not effective rehabilitation. But that's why, as a new minister, you are working on to rehabilitate the sites. Even those who are the area that was mined before us, it's an obligation to work on them. You see? So if you go anywhere, just Google anywhere where mining activities are. You see it's always an eye show when it's happening. But when it's after rehabilitation. I'll give you an example of somebody which was mined, and if you go next time, you look around that area. With proper rehabilitation, you may not even know that the area has been mined. If you're driving to Tanje, on the right-hand side, after Ghana Town, that area was mined and rehabilitated.
In the mining history of this country, did you ever repair?
This is what I'm saying.
That's an example.
That's the example I'm giving you. Tanje, just go Ghana Town. There's a road that goes on, see, and in between, and on the right-hand side there, the area was mined. I wish I showed the pictures when the area was mined.
I can give you an example now where you can go and see for yourself. As you said, is when you're doing the mining, yes, it will be destructive, but it is incumbent upon us by law to rehabilitate the area, to restore it. Now, I have mentioned even Sanyang area, where they're doing sand mining now. If you go there, they can show you. Generally, can show you sand is rehabilitated, and boreholes are dug there. People are doing the gardening there. You go now to Sotokoi. Sotokoi, that was a mining area there. Now you go there, it's on your right-hand side. Look, it's rehabilitated. And just as he said, yes, there were destructions before. The former regime, some mining activity where they were taking place, and some are even illegal mining areas. But what we are doing now with the department is that even though we were not responsible, or some of the companies that were responsible to that mine, they are no more there, we had developed innovative ways of engaging our present partners to rehabilitate those areas that were mined. Probably those are the ones of concern to you. Some of them is the road contractors who will be doing road construction and just go near somewhere there, they start mining the area, taking the sand for the road construction. And they say it's for development. And then they will finish their road and go. But now we are mining. You go to Barfloat or behind, you go there, there are areas that have been rehabilitated now, and people have started, even the areas at Sotokoi, people have started building a house there. So we've started rehabilitating areas.
But God should be employing, as per the Joint Commission recommendation, employing some people, within those communities where mining is taking place.
Yes.
Is this the case?
All mine, not only Gaj, all mining companies.
But this has not.
They take not only Gaj. I'm just telling you, not only Gaj, because you cannot stop that. There are people working there. So what I'm telling you is not only Gaj, even all those in sand quarry. We encourage all companies to take local labor. Not only to stop there, they also provide corporate social response where they support the community in helping them develop either the markets or the mosque, or even support some students.
Look, I think the question is employment.
I do know they're doing some CSR.
They are not encouraging.
No, I do know they are doing some CSR. Maybe go and engage them. They'll be able to take you to people they've been engaging in Sanya. I think it's give them that opportunity. They can go and take you there, then you see for yourself.
Yeah, thank you. Malagan even Mustafa here published something on that Gach is doing, in response to the previous article. So you can make reference to Mustafa's article on Malagan, which he put up yesterday.
Yes, okay.
So hold on, Keva, I'm coming to you. Oh, we take you and then Keva will do.
Okay. Yes.
Sorry.
Can I comment?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Just give him a chance.
We have a meeting. We have a meeting.
Honorable, I would like to know what are some of the minerals being extracted from these mining places, including Sanya, different from ilmenite, because it seems all the emphasis is on ilmenite. So I wanted to know different from that.
Well, the emphasis is.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay.
I'm not. Let me learn, please.
Okay, learn.
I also want to know, because we understand one of the reasons Kanadi mineral were dismissed or expelled from the country was they were engaging in the mining of uranium. I wanted to know whether
Very good.
uranium actually is found in the Gambia.
Yes, I think this is a very, very good question. And I know I was in the heart of this, and I was want to advise government of the misinformation. That's a very serious health hazard. You must have a level of uranium content for human beings. That's an area that people farm every day. It's an area that animals go there, they drink the water. It's the area that we get vegetables and we eat them. So imagine if there's a high content of uranium. By now, many people have died from the radioactive element. What I know is thorium is a radioactive element. But even if there is, if you take sample from here, just outside here, take a small sample. You go analyze it. You'll see ilmenite in it. You'll get rhodite in it. And you get some of this. We call it trace elements. You see trace elements in it. But what matters is their concentration. How much is there? So there is no uranium deposit. And they also mentioned there is iron ore. That's also not correct. Oil, they would have mined it. And someone even mentioned to me there was diamond. Or else people don't just, people diamond there. Even the British who mined it would not have left if there was diamond deposit. You see. So there are trace elements which are part of the concentrate. Okay, but then they are not of any amount that is extractable, mineable. And some are even within the crystal lattice of the mineral. They are part in the, it's just like if you do chemistry, you see the atoms are bonded. So some of this chemical analysis, I don't know, whoever gave that to the government, and they said this is uranium, and is this much? It's not true. And they were never exploited, even after Kanaji. The others that came, did they exploit it? No, it's not there. And the same mineral is also being mined in Senegal. So look into it. It's a composition.
Before you will dispel, whether your ministry have conducted
Yes.
investigation to ascertain whether
Yes. What I'm telling you is not from any external sources. I'm telling you a survey that we have done, and I said several studies have been done. The Commonwealth Secretariat, Cooper did the 4 studies, then after the Commonwealth Secretariat, the region itself did a survey, very comprehensive, and that's the most comprehensive, and there are volumes of report that also gets all the chemical composition of the deposit. And after Canada also did their own, and they also made independent, like Petroleum, also independent analysis of the material there. So we have enough information. And after that, even the Chinese, mainland China, that's 1993, it was published in 1995, have a report on the same mineral. So this has been studied many times. And I'm sure what I'm saying because I took part in many of the surveys myself.
so you are saying the former president's assassin is not true.
Anyway, I was the chief geologist at the time when Canadian was, and I never advised that.
He was on record when he was saying even uranium they were mining.
But that's what I'm saying. I said I'm not aware of any. In fact, it doesn't exist because all the research that you have done, there's not like uranium deposit in the Gambia.
Tell him the government even lost that case against Canada.
Well, that's a legal.
But because of those allegations, that led us to
so
abandon the contract.
So it's not.
Cheating us.
But just to let you know, scientifically, geologically, that the elements, these are radioactive elements are there, but not in any form where they mineable. Well, it's startable, yeah, because you cannot even. They are just. That's why they call trace elements. Yes, very small.
So, excuse me, if I may just...
No, I think, sorry, we have to conclude now because we have, people waiting for us for a meeting.
What do you want to say?
So
I just want to know whether you are following this conference as far as these trace elements also are concerned, whether they are also extracting it and selling it outside without your...
No. You see, what I'm telling you, no, imagine, okay, no, wait. Look at this mineral, for example. Okay, I just want to educate you. This mineral is measured in tons. 1 ton is 1,000 kilograms. Imagine 1,000 kilograms of gold. How much will it be for diamond? That's what I'm saying. So look at the gold, we can find out the value. So this is a large volume, low price mineral. So imagine if you have 0.01% of an element in the sample, how much can you extract to get 1,000 tons? You may mine the whole beach area. And we did a lot of studies have been done in this one. Definitely a lot of them. That one I can tell you with authority. Yes.
All right, thank you. I think we have another meeting to go to.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Minister, and my colleague press, members of the press and communicators. Thank you very much for honoring our invitation. Before we disperse, I would just like to add a few things. Since I came here, it's part of the ministry's reform to have a communications officer, and since I came, I've facilitated a series of interviews with the minister. We conducted some with Foroya and another media house. So feel free. We have bookings also for Malagan and for Chronicles and Mamos also. So feel free to knock on my doors. You have my email, you have my contacts. Anytime you need anything from the ministry, we don't have to speculate. Just come straight to us, and then I'll facilitate that. So thank you very much for
Yes,
coming.
and I would have to just add that if you want to, because sometimes not calling me here and there, but just go through we have a policy. Since we have a communication officer, and he's here to help us to communicate our activities, but within and outside the country, So we engage her. Definitely, she's here to support us, and we are a friend to the media anyway. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much.
kenu nyamen ake kenu nyamen ñinam programme to mum binalale Gambian Talents TV arabo araba ka talent nani faka jitala luluka min ko aka kenu nyamen ni ado ni ciosano le fere min ko ado ni ciosano akita ko mu yalon ka mabutale nañu jamano molo mu yalon ko fan ya ado ni ciosano lo mbake molo mu
you must have a level of radio content for human beings. That's an area that people farm every day. It's an area that animals go there, they drink the water. It's the area that we get vegetables and we eat them. So imagine if there's a high concentration.
Arabo arabalo. Ado ni ciosano, adinte ture muso. Fen